Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, and it's been a while. I have once again have a Hongqi Landout on my channel, but this time we are going to drive the HS5 flagship model. And yes, I had no idea this variant existed, having come from the deluxe four-wheel drive model. I was not expecting at all to review this exact variant because I had no idea there was a top-of-the-line version, and weirdly enough, being as mentioned the higher trim, this only comes as a front-wheel drive vehicle. With the exterior, you get again the very large Hongqi red flag logo that stretches all the way up to the very loud chrome grille, which again gives a very unique character. You get a ground clearance of 200 millimeters, and now exclusive too with this flagship model, you still get an array of LED headlights and your fog lamps, along too with your sequential turn signals. But now you have an automatic high beam control for this HS5. And like with the deluxe, well, all of the HS5s rather, these are running on 20-inch wheels, equipped too with Michelin Latitude Sport 3 tires. So I have driven this already on the highway and a bit more of the twisty stuff. This car is actually very good to drive. And on the side profile, it is your usual crossover. Again, you get your red banner logo here on the side. Doesn't act like as a garnish, but I'm okay with that. The side mirrors, they're door mounted, so it's less noise going into the cabin. It has as well repeaters and cameras underneath too. Now, what caught my interest too with this HS5 flagship model, so if you open the door, this have double glazed acoustic glass for the front doors. So the NVH did massively improve with this HS5. However though, if you go to the rear doors, it's not equipped with this acoustic glass, which I find a bit odd. And weirdly, another massive improvement compared with the deluxe four-wheel drive model, this come equipped with intelligent damper control suspension. So I found out the ride is a lot better, and probably one of the smoothest crossovers that I've driven so far. Powering this Hongqi HS5 flagship, it's still the same, a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that produces 221 horsepower and 340 Newton meters of torque, mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. And again, this one is only powering the front wheels. So I have much more to show you guys on how this drives later on in the video. And it's about time I shot in this place too. I see why everyone goes to shoot all of their car reviews here and more other things, because there's a lot going on in the background. Anyway, and here now at the rear of this Hongqi HS5, well, the design is pretty much generic like with the rest of the crossovers, but at least you get your dazzling LED taillights, again with your sequential turn signals. Now, to tell the difference between the four-wheel drive model, luckily there was one at their base in Western Taguig. Below the Hongqi badge, there's like the four-wheel drive badge. But for this top-of-the-line flagship model, it's just plain. I kind of like it though. And like with the deluxe four-wheel drive model, so once you have the key, you have to unlock it first. And then put your foot there. This has a kick to open function. I think you're supposed to do it twice. There you go. Took a while. So remember, kick twice to open this. Now you have a total space here of 475 liters, which is enough for all of my junk for the entire weekend I've had with this vehicle. And you get net storages on either side, 2 LED lights, and a 12-volt socket just right here on the right side. And underneath, at least, unlike some other crossovers, you have a space saver donut type tire, and there's like a wire attached to it so you can see the tire pressure too in the infotainment system. One nitpick with this vehicle though, yes, like what I showed you with the deluxe model, you can fold the rear seats, but you have to do it here manually. However though, just pull this lever once, at least, the seats can fold completely flat. Now you have a whopping space of 1,071 liters, and I'm not gonna waste my time doing the other. However though, it's not the best one out there, but it still can carry a lot of stuff. And like what I said earlier, if you wanna close this tailgate, I know that's supposed to work. Oh dear. There you go. Easy peasy. Oh yeah, one more thing. With the earlier one that I reviewed almost exactly a year ago, this does not have anymore the Chinese Hongqi insignia on the tailgate. And once again, this is the interior of this Hongqi HS5. And if I start her up, You get electronic adjustments for the steering wheel too, and it will only be active once you are only in park, not while on the go. Yeah, the interior, I miss all of the Hongqis because it feels so luxurious without breaking your bank at the same time. More on the price later on. Here in the door card, what can I say? It's amazing. There's no hints of plastic for the top part. Of course, they exist only here in the bottom part. But at least, you can fit a full-size tumbler just down below. And now, this was the big difference too compared with the base model, the Lux model. This flagship model gets a full carbon fiber trim from either side of the door and all the way from the dashboard. And I know this one's real because it's not the ones that you get in other crossovers that they imitate carbon fiber through plastic. This one, I mean, that sounds really solid. And you get ambient lighting underneath the carbon fiber trim too. And it's very beautiful at night. And there are a lot of colors to choose from. Here on the left side, you get an array of buttons for your hill descent control, electronic tailgate, heating function for the steering wheel. I think this is for your cruise control speed limiter, and a heads-up display. But one of the few cars I've ever known that you can adjust the heads-up display according to your height or your sitting position rather. And speaking of sitting position, this HS5 flagship is equipped with a memory mirror that aligns with your seats. You don't just have a memory seat function, but it aligns too with your mirror. And as you can see, there's blind spot monitoring too, equipped with this HS5. And the biggest highlight, of course, with this HS5 are the seats. So beautiful. And again, more comparable now, like with Hongqi's flagship model, the EHS9. I have a review of that. Check that out on my channel. Still to this date, one of the best Hongqis. But there will be another Hongqi that we'll review soon that could take that spotlight. Sadly, it's not this vehicle. However, this one comes at a close second place. And I will tell you why during the drive itself. The steering wheel, it's actually like a D shape. It's a bit more sportier than usual. And you get paddle shifters. I love this feature, even though it's plastic. But at least you can play a lot. And like with most Hongqis, your cruise controls, you have a separate stop just down below the indicators itself. And being the flagship top of the line model, this one is equipped with a super adaptive cruise control system, and I've used it quite a lot on the highway by the time I had this vehicle, and I enjoyed the system every second. And here for your instrument cluster, it displays all of your important information, and you have your tachometer, speedometer, and you can see too with your driving modes. So if you just toggle this, eco, comfort, sport, snow, and off-road mode. So a little bit weird, even though this is a front-wheel drive vehicle, it still retains the off-road functions that you get in the deluxe four-wheel drive model. And with all Hongqi HS5s, you get a infotainment system equipped with a CarLife mirror link, but it is actually a QD mirror link system. I had no issues with how it works, and I used this to connect my phone to the infotainment system. Even though your phone is on, I had a lot of experience with screen mirror links. However, it just disconnects randomly, but it happens after a while. So I hope Hongqi improve this in the future. But that's the only nitpick I had with this vehicle. The rest you have for your safety, your light settings, driving assistance, and a lot more features with this HS5. And two, you can play with the themes of this vehicle. So knowing me, I start off with sport mode, then this is concise mode, and then this is classic mode. And this was the mode that it was left on when I picked up this vehicle. And two, for the infotainment display, the concise and classic are almost different. But for once, I do like the concise compared to sport mode, but I want the cluster in sport mode, so that's why I left it there. And we got more stuff here, like for your air conditioning and all that. So little stuff only. You can play with the infotainment system. And hopefully they improve too of adding Android Auto and Apple CarPlay in the future. I know the Hongqi H5 had those features. Again, I have a separate review of that. So further down the infotainment system, you get your capacitive touches for your air conditioning controls, and more buttons here for your engine start-stop button, electronic stability control, and being the flagship model, you have your automatic parking system. Sadly, I won't be able to do that because I'm still scared to do automated stuff. Blind spot button, parking sensor button, and now this is equipped with a lane departure warning. It's not as intrusive as some of the Japanese mod makers out there, but it still keeps me in check. That's what I like with this HS5. And then here in the center console, open this up, you get two cup holders. They're very small, and you get a 12-volt socket, which has the ambient light effect around it too. I like that. And around in the gear shift, yes, it's all gloss black, but I don't mind it. You get your engine start stop button, drive modes, electronic parking brake, auto hold function, and buttons here for your seat ventilation and seat warmers. So of course, the seat ventilation is always on maximum when I'm in this car. Wireless charging pad over here, and open the center console box up. Even the quality of this is amazing. It reveals your two USB Type A ports and a decent amount of storage. I think phones and other documents can just fit just inside. And open this glove box. I love it. Even has felt material. Again, more of the premium touch. Above here, you get your light controls, your panoramic sunroof controls. That stretches all the way to the rear seats. LED lights all around too, including here for your vanity mirror. Damn, they don't extend. Anyways, now here in the rear seats of this Hongqi HS5 flagship, here in the door card, pretty much the same like the ones in front. And as you can see, there's not much light left in the sky. You can see the ambient light going on over here. And I forgot to mention, this HS5 flagship, well, with all of the HS5 models, these are equipped with a 12-speaker Bose surround sound system. And the sound quality is amazing. So just check out my Instagram highlights. So I'll just put in the link in the description down below. And like with all Hongqis, oh, I nearly can stretch my feet all the way forward. Goes to show how spacious that EQ M5 is. Anyways, but still for a crossover, that's pretty much insane. Even for the headroom, even though, again, we have the panoramic sunroof, a lot of space here. So even 6-footers can be safe here at the rear seats. And in the middle, you get two air conditioning vents, and pop this open. You get a 12-volt socket, and once again, two USB Type A ports. And what can I say with the seats? A lot more premium, and you get a lot what you pay for. Two net storages on behind both front seats rather, and central armrest can be just like that for your elbows, and get pop-out cup holders. Even has the Hongqi banner in a way. That's so cool. And if I sit here in the middle, in case you have a whoops, okay, just stay there. If I sit here in the middle, so there's a large transmission tunnel, but it's wide enough, and you can just simply put your feet up. Okay, it's still very much, well, we're comfortable to sit anywhere here in the rear seats. Right, LED lights just above here, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, so you can control the windows on both sides, rather on either side. That's pretty cool. And you get only seat warmers for the rear seats. Sadly, no seat ventilations. And I just discovered now, this has what, privacy glass here too, only for the rear seats, since Hongqis are catering to VIP customers. Hence, there's a VIP livery on this too. I've driven a lot of weird, quirky, underrated, and unknown cars. This Hongqi HS5 has literally got all of the traits, and I think why you should buy one in the first place is because of the NVH. So we're now running, I'll go a bit faster, even 40, 50 kilometers per hour. The NVH comfort and the smoothness of this vehicle at this price point is top-notch. Now, having more experience with this front-wheel drive over the four-wheel drive variant, is there any difference? Well, quite a lot, but it's not as drastic as one might expect. The steering feel is so much lighter, hence again it being a front-wheel drive model, but there's still some heft to it, even though when you drive this here, example, in the twisties itself. And despite the size, the weight of this vehicle, this is somewhat very much fun to drive. And of course, well, few nitpicks of the drive of this Hongqi HS5. When you push this really hard in the twisties, there's a lot of body roll, and actually that's pretty much it. Of course, if you're just in a straight line, this crossover has one of the plushest rides I've ever encountered so far. Again, around here in the Kaya showroom, known to have a lot of bumps, manholes, and all that, it glides around the bumps pretty easily. Despite to having a softer ride, hence you have the intelligent dampers. Once you're driving this at higher speeds in the highway or even on the twisties, it's still very much planted. The 8-speed automatic is very good too. It's very smooth to the point. You don't feel the shifts when you're just driving at a calm place, like so. However, you definitely will feel it once you push it, and it shifts up pretty quickly. The downshifts slightly sluggish, but it's not so bad. And this thing flies. Even on 20-inch wheels and bigger tires, the tire noise is kept to a minimum. So even like up to 100 kilometers per hour. Again, the testament of Hongqi having one of the best NVH of any Chinese brand. And of course, give or take, why they hired the designer from Rolls-Royce. So there's a lot of Rolls-Royce characteristics with this Hongqi HS5. Make no mistake, but at least they made use of the resources quite well. There is a very big trade-off with this Hongqi HS5, the fuel economy. From bumper to bumper payday traffic, you can get around 5 kilometers per liter or even lower. On better days though, you can max out at 8.3 kilometers per liter. Not bad for a non-hybrid 2-liter powerful crossover, and it's as well really heavy. Don't forget about that. And on the highway driving, you can max out at 15.1 kilometers per liter. That's more like it. And of course, you were just gunning it too on the highway and just driving it at a calmer pace at the city. You have a combined figure around 10 kilometers per liter. That's where I learned that this Hongqi HS5 is better suited rather for highway driving. So it's much more of a cruiser than the usual sporty crossovers that I like. This is what I like too with this Hongqi HS5. If you're just driving at a calm pace, as so, like again 60 kilometers per hour, it's a very, very gentle cruiser. But flick of a switch, the drive mode, manual mode, as I said, she flies. Ooh. Right, you can hit the national speed limit in almost no time. So now, for the cost of all of this one's just weirdly a little bit more expensive from the deluxe 4-wheel drive model. This one stands at 2,258,000 pesos. I would say it's literally worth every penny. You get the looks, the NVH, the comfort, the drive. Yeah, I see almost no better luxury crossover out there, even though this has just few flaws. Example, you have no Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and the intelligent dampers. I will admit, I wish it worked a little bit faster, but I would say it's still pretty much good enough for, again, this price point. So yeah, that concludes my full review of this Hongqi HS5 flagship front-wheel drive model. So again, I'd like to thank everyone here at Hongqi Philippines, and special thanks to for everyone in the dealer as well, and to Adrian101. There you go, who assisted me here in this test drive. So you may check out his POV driving impressions of this too. One more time. So hope you guys like and subscribe, and I will see you with another Hongqi review coming right up. Bye bye.